Hey kids, welcome back to Uncle Fezzi's Mad Lab. What's Uncle Fezzi up to today? Well, quite frankly, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, because I can, and why the fuck not, right? I know I'm not the only guy that has this problem. So, I live in an old suburban neighborhood. My house is over 100 years old. The house across the street is well over 100 years old. There's a lot of old trees here. If you're not familiar with old trees, and in particular something called the emerald ash borer, the Chinese import, and basically what it's done is killed pretty much every single ash tree in my area. It's been going on for years. So there's a lot of ash trees. Ash trees are, well, they make baseball bats out of them, and they're fucking firewood, and they're basically weeds, and they grow pretty fast. An ash tree that's over 50 years old, it's done. It's as big as it's going to get. It's lived its life. I'm not going to get into the arborist nonsensical tree hugging horse shit. So what I have here in this problem, in this expensive suburban fucking neighborhood infested with tree huggers, is a whole shitload of people that don't realize their trees are dead and they won't cut them the fuck down. I spent the money as a responsible homeowner and had all my ash trees cut down, at least the ones that were going to fall on my house or the neighbors. I did lose 2 pine trees, but that was years ago, and well, I lost one and I cut the other one down. The tree huggers bitched about it. Oh, why'd you cut that 75-foot spruce tree down? Because the twin to it fell down and almost took out my fucking house. Got that ran out of the way. So, living here, I lose power because of this problem at least twice a year. At least. Now, I do have a home backup generator that I installed. I didn't install the transfer switch because it required hole drilling and lots of wire moving. I had a professional electrician do that. But what I did do was build a little shack, put my cheap 9,000 watt propane generator in. I don't like to run that thing overnight for a lot of reasons. One is it's a waste of power. It just is. So what I used to do, and I don't trust it because I got it at Costco. So what I used to do is I have a 3,000 watt Honda inverter generator that is like the bomb diggity. Things whisper quiet, doesn't make a shit ton of noise. Problem is it's a little heavy. I'm not buying another gas powered generator. I got 2. I don't need a third. So I decided to get this thing. This is a Jackery solar generator. I didn't get the solar panels because solar panels, that's voodoo and I don't believe in it. I don't trust it. I don't trust it for a lot of reasons. The main reason being is solar panels go bad. So do batteries. But I bought a battery generator. I fell for the online advertising and I bought a Jackery because Gus from In Too Deep was plugging it and he seemed to like it, and I don't know, he got his for free. I paid $500 for this. This is a 1,000 watt. This is last year's model, so it was only $500. This year's model is 1,000 watt and it's $1,000. Whatever. So I actually ordered this from Home Depot also, and not Jackery. You can't get the old one from Jackery. You can only get the new one from Jackery. The Jackery. So this is an unboxing video now that I've done my little rant. This showed up today. The FedEx guy, of course, flung it out of his truck into my driveway in this box in a neighborhood that hasn't had power in a week. So, you can tell here the corner of the box is crunched. And it made it into the secondary box. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to take it out of the first box into the second box. Ooh, it's got little handles on it. Oh. There we go, Jackery solar generator. Like I said, I didn't go with the, yeah, there's the corner of the box when he flung it out of the truck and landed in my driveway. Ooh, it's got a little zip tie pull thing on it, zoop, which didn't work because I ripped it too fast. Good thing I have a utility knife here. Alright. So back to what I was saying. I bought this specifically to run my my CPAP machine. If I don't get a full night's sleep, I'm just a grumpy motherfucker, or grumpier type of fella. That's an interesting heavy-duty power cord there. I wonder how much of this is insulation and how much of this is actually wire. We'll find out. Quick start guide. Wow, it's pretty thick too. And a user manual. See how many languages. Because I always enjoy that. 4. English, French, Españoles, and Portuguese. Brazilian Portuguese. Okay, then we'll get to that in a minute. Quick start guide. How to electrocute yourself. Oh, in 5 different languages, because it's in Chinese too. And it looks like Chinese. Doesn't look like Korean. Definitely looks like Chinese. Oh, I thought it was 2 pieces. Yeah, this is definitely all in Chinese. And this side is actually in English. Yeah, English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese again. Okay. And this is only telling you how to hook up the solar power, which we didn't get. I wasn't going to do solar. We got a little crunch here. Thankfully, that corner of the box was protected. Now let's see what we got. Now I'm going to leave this thing in my bedroom because my wife doesn't like it when I leave gas-powered things in the bedroom. My motorcycle was the first thing that had to leave my living room when I met her. Oh. And that's it. So double packaging here. And doesn't really weigh too much. As a matter of fact, I've lifted car batteries that weigh a lot more than that. Let's see here, 12 volt light. Whoa, do a little ASMR sticker peeling here. Oh. Alright. Now let's see what happens. Power. 28%. Well, I guess we better plug it in. Well, the light works. Oh, the light's really bright. And it blinks. And it's blinking. USB, DC, USB, AC, 30 watt, 100 watt USB-C, which is interesting, and an 18 watt USB-A. 100 watt USB-C will power my laptop. That's a fantastic test. Maybe we'll plug my $500 Jackery into my $1,300, or actually $3,000 MacBook. Alright, I'm not going to plug this thing in right now. I'm going to let it charge up. So I'm going to plug it into this power outlet over here on the other side of my workbench and get it up to 100%, and then we'll see what happens. So there's your unboxing video in less than 10 minutes. Okay, so here's my Jackery, and it's dead. I intentionally killed it. I wanted to see how long this thing would last running a moderate load. And, well, I ran this Creality dryer here, that filament dryer, and it killed it in 24 hours, which I was actually expecting. I didn't really expect this thing to last. I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't expect it to last nearly as long as it did. So last night, around 10 o'clock, I came out and looked at it. So I started this sometime around 8 o'clock yesterday morning. So today's the 28th. So the 27th, I started it around 7 or 8 in the morning. And, here we are. Less than 24 hours later, it's dead. I totally expected that. And I did it on purpose. I wanted to see, because this thing's brand new, I wanted to see what would happen if I ran the power all the way down. And, well, the dryer stopped running. So I just plugged it in. It's now 10 after 7. So we're going to see how long it takes to charge. The other interesting thing is, and I don't know, I downloaded the app for the Jackery, and when I did that, the output wattage calculator stopped working. Now, I don't know if that was because of the app or because of something else, but I discontinued the app. I disconnected it from the Jackery, and it started working again, but it lags a considerable amount of time after you turn it on. So like when I push the button to turn it on, to get the screen to light up, because the screen shuts off after like 2 minutes, it would take a minute or two to calculate the wattage consumption of the dryer. The dryer had a really crazy wattage draw. My assumption is because the heating element in the dryer was cycling on and off. So that's apps. I don't know exactly how that thing works, other than it just pumps heat out, and it's got a thermal. It's a heating element. So this thing is a heating element and a blower and a little LED screen. So this was perfect, and it wasn't really noisy. So there you go. We'll see how long it takes for this thing to charge up, and then we'll be back. And it's 3%, and I literally just plugged it in a second ago. The other thing is I actually did read the directions, and I bought this as a UPS. She gave the man UPS. UPS, Universal Power Supply, which it will work as. It's designed to do that, actually. So once this thing is charged back up, I'm going to take it back in, plug it into my CPAP, and it should, I haven't tried it yet, but it should instantaneously or within 20 milliseconds switch over. Once the main is disconnected, it should switch right back over to running off a battery. So there should be theoretically no interruption in the operation of a CPAP. And if it runs a CPAP for 6 hours, then we're good to go. It should run the CPAP for 6 hours. It ran that dryer, which is a greater draw than the CPAP, for a minimum of 20 hours that I know of. Well, here we are. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10:10. It's at 100% charge. I got distracted and I wasn't actually like staring at it to see when it hit 100%. So right now I'm using it as a it's supposed to be operating as a pass-through. So we're gonna find out if it works. The whole reason I bought this was so when we lose power here, which I complained about earlier in the video is happening way too often for my liking, it should act as a transfer switch and immediately transfer over. So let's see what happens. Nothing happened, and that's exactly what I wanted it to do. So I'm still running the dryer over here. I'm running this dryer. I figured it was a perfect experiment, and it actually turned out to be a perfect experiment. So I'm fairly confident that this thing will do exactly what I bought it to do. I read the instructions, believe it or not, which were kind of short, I will say. That's the way it's designed. So as long as there's power feeding into it, the battery isn't being used. It acts as a pass-through. It's like a regular transfer switch. And then when you take the power off, boom, it switches over at 20 milliseconds. And as you can see in the video, it didn't stop. It just literally just acted like nothing happened. And, you know, here's the power cord. All right. But you can turn it off, right? So that turns it off. I'm not really drying anything. I just wanted to use that. Well, there you go. That's my Jackery Explorer 1000 battery bank. We'll see how it works. If it lasts 5 years and does what it's supposed to do over the next 5 years, it was money well spent. If it lasts less than that, I'm not going to be too happy. I mean, not for nothing, but my Honda generator is almost 20 years old now, and I can just go over, turn the key, and the thing starts. And the biggest pain in the ass is putting gas in it and then cleaning it out at the end of the session. Oh, there we go. Thanks for watching, and I really can't answer any questions about it, but you know, leave a comment. Hey, how you doing? This is a post-editing part. I don't show where I put it because, well, it's my bedroom, and there's only 2 people that need to see the inside of my bedroom. Me and my wife, well, and the little dogs. So, one of the things that I found out really quickly with it is you have to use the app with it to, well, at least I had to use the app with it to turn the unit on to always on. So it'll act as a transfer switch all the time. Otherwise, it shuts off after 24 hours with no load on it. And it's supposed to do that. And that's probably the way I should have set it up to run. But I just turned it on so it's on all the time, and that's it. It's acting as a it's acting as a pass through. It's acting as a transfer switch. It's not. There's no load coming off the batteries when it is receiving power from the street. Yeah. So I read the instructions. I looked at the app. I followed. You know, believe it or not, I actually followed the instructions. And if there's no load, if power is coming in, it is literally just right through. It's just going right through. It's not It's not going into the batteries and then coming out of the batteries and then going into the through the inverter and then into the load, which is, yeah. So I had to figure that out because 3 nights in a row I had to go turn it on, and then I'm like, maybe I should read the directions a little bit more. And yeah, you have to download the app, and then I was just laying in bed and turned it on, and the CPAP fired right up. So keep that in mind. The fact that I've been wearing the same come and go shirt for the last 4 days.